All right, looking at anti-air fire AA. So you can see my playlist of this game. If you go back and take a look, it's in the same playlist as these videos. I've done some director's cut recuts of my videos that you can watch, but I thought it was interesting to do the new version. They do supply you with a no zone of control yellow band AA unit here for the Soviets. And I noticed a couple of rules I noticed one rule in particular that I did not know about. And I don't know if it's always been in here, but we'll go over it after this effect that they have on on an air unit trying to complete a mission. So in this game, the air unit stuff is pretty complicated. So let's say we have declared attack number 6, even though there's just one on the board. The German player has declared an attack here on this hex from the 18th Panzer unit here. And these are all in the tutorial video. And he's going to try to add air support. He's looking to use this DRM modifier of 2 right there. The other one is for interdiction, and that's the fighter level. So not the best fighter airplane. It goes up from 1 to getting better. Of course, because it's a Stuka, so it's not the most maneuverable unit. But it does provide a 2 CAS modifier, and it's considered a bomber B. He wants that 2 die roll modification number to be added to this attack here. There's no defender air support coming from the Soviets. It's clear skies, so he's going to get through to perform the mission, but first he has to survive anti-aircraft fire from this unit here. And that 7th here is, you see the yellow band is no ZOC, and the symbol is anti-air. So it is eligible to declare an anti-air. It's able to fire at the plane. And anti-aircraft fire, how you know that you're about to be subjected to anti-aircraft fire, at least for the Soviets, it comes from the mission hex. They shoot up in the air, right? There's various, remember this is the one of the Moscow regiments. There's various things inside this counter. There's supply trucks and office vehicles and all sorts of stuff combined inside this one unit, and anti-aircraft machine guns and things like that. So who's eligible to fire? How do you know you're going to come under AA fire? It's the mission hex and the 6 hexes around it where you want to look for an eligible anti-aircraft unit. All division size non-cavalry units are eligible. Anti-aircraft units, HQs, and naval units. Units of less than division size are not eligible. So if he was not here, if he was back here, say you're me, for example, and you screw something up strategically, this unit could not fire anti-air because it's not big enough. It doesn't have the infrastructure. It doesn't have all that stuff with it. It doesn't have anti-air. So but that by itself alone is not eligible to shoot at the plane. But once this is here, you're going to get, I'm just going to turn declared attack number 6, pointing at the hex that's being attacked. Now, just as a side note, they want you to put the declared attack on the hex that you're to attack. I still kind of like putting it on the attacking unit, pointing toward where he's going, but, it's a weird choice. I kind of like it the other way. I like doing it my way, where I put it on the attacker, pointing at the hex that he's attacking. But that's not how they tell you to do it. So anyway, we're going to move this here. So now this plane is going to be subject to some ack because you're actually putting it on this hex, right? If he survives this, he will apply his die roll modifier. But there is a chance that he gets shot down or aborted and has to go back to the flown box. So let's see. And actually, if you look at this combat, this unit's not as strong as the Soviet unit. It could really use this die roll modifier. So we'll see what happens here. Let me just straighten that out for you. All right. Now, each player is going to fire once against each enemy mission in the mission hex, regardless of the number of eligible ground units. So if this was a division and it was eligible to do AA fire, and then you had this one, you wouldn't do it twice, you just do it once. Okay. Okay, you're going to need your AA fire table now. You're going to be rolling a die here. AA fire table DRMs. Well, the Soviets firing, and they're firing at a Stuka, -1 to the roll. That makes it harder now because they're screaming dive bombers. If all the firing units are out of supply, it's -1. You don't have to worry about that. Per firing AA type unit. Now, we do have an AA type unit, and it's better than the rigmarole they might have intrinsically built into that counter. This is a dedicated AA unit, so we're going to get a +1 modifier for that. So we're going to negate the -1 for the Stuka. There's not a Soviet HQ doing it. You're firing at a JU-88 or HE-111, a Heinkel 111. Nope, we're not doing that. We're at the 17. There's a star here. This one only takes effect when doing close air support. Oh yeah, and you can always only have a maximum of +2/-2 on this. So we actually come out to a 0 due to that dedicated unit, and that's probably, I read in the notes that Vance took great lengths to make this extremely balanced and to provide good replayability and examples of everything. So that's probably why this is included. And you'll also notice that there's no divisions here for the Soviet player in the tutorial, so they can't provide intrinsic AA. So I thought that was kind of interesting. In fact, there's no divisions. You know, there's elements, but there's not a whole division. So he kept it small. And I think he did a really good job with this. Now, I never owned Army Group Center before, so this is the first time playing this one. I've done Army Group North, South, Kiev to Rostov, and Crimea tutorial ones, learning scenarios. So you won't find a video like this in my old videos because I simply didn't own it. And I resisted buying it because I knew it was coming out. Okay, so we're going to roll and see what happens here. Let me get the dice ready. I don't know where my dice tower is. I think it's upstairs somewhere. I really need to get that back out. Okay, we're going to retire the Crayola D&D 10-sided. We're going to go with just a normal 10-sided die here. This brown one. All right, we're going to chuck this, and the Soviet player wants to get, let's see here. Table. The Soviet player wants to get anything above 8 or above. All right. There's no modifiers, as we just discussed. All right. Let's see what happens here. Live roll, folks. A 2. Okay. A 2 will allow it is no effect, and that allows the Stuka to get through and apply the die roll modifier to this combat. And that's it. Now, of course, there might be some air-to-air combat before you get to this part, and the survivors try to go through, and there's layers to the air combat. But this is the simplest example, and it's an example that could be possibly right off the tutorial here. Now, if you had gotten damaged or destroyed or aborted, it goes back to the appropriate box on your player's aid card that we saw a couple of videos ago, and you would just put the plane back in there. You can't shoot AA fire. Check out these here. Only cavalry units, right? No enemy units or non-combat units. Only Soviet non-AA or non-HQ. Only Axis units that have no ZOC. So you want to check these little things here. So again, fairly simple. So not bad. Now, the one thing that I did not know that I learned looking at this, a curious thing that I read here. Now, the Axis player doesn't have anything that would relate to my example of leveling an 88 gun and firing directly at a bunker, but let's take a look at something here. Found this tonight. So, anti-aircraft fire, also see 15.44. Okay, let's take a look at what that is. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look. Soviet air units cannot conduct CAS missions within range of a non-op HQ. Okay. You don't need to worry about that. I was just reading another note. Okay, 15.44. What is that? It's something else that anti-aircraft can do that I did not catch before. I can't remember if this is new or not. Check this out. Bunker busting. Forward and at the enemy. Sturmgeschütz training manual. If declared, eligible Axis units double their attack strength when part of a declared attack against any hex containing non-destroyed strongpoint, but not overrun. Eligible units: anti-aircraft, motorized anti-aircraft, and assault gun. So, I mean, I guess the Soviets could do this also. Anyway, it appears that you can level an anti-aircraft gun and use it to shoot directly at a bunker. Only one eligible unit can be declared as a bunker buster unit per attack. Other participating eligible units use their normal attack strength. An AA unit that contributes the DRM to AA fire during the current combat phase cannot be designated as a bunker buster, so the Soviets would not have been able to use that there. It uses its normal attack strength. So I found this interesting. Basically, if you're on the German side, for example, you're leveling your 88s and just firing directly at a bunker, which at Brest-Litovsk, maybe I could see something like that happening. I think they did have to resort to that, which is interesting. I did not pick up on this. I don't know if this was recently added or if it was in the other series rules. I'll be getting some of the older titles. I'll have to look for that because I don't remember that. Anyway, you can use them as bunker busting. Just declare one, you get to double the attack strength. So that's, didn't even realize that. Now, the Germans don't have that in this scenario, and it's because the designers have given the Russians a strong point, and they didn't want you just rolling up and leveling your AA guns at it and blowing it off the map because it serves a purpose. So, but I did find that interesting. But anyway, that's simple anti-aircraft fire in a nutshell. But as always, make sure you read your rules and follow your doctor's orders. All right. So that is all I wanted to say about that. Again, I'll be playing this one on the weekend, but I may try scenario 3 because it's a one card mapper. I might try that separate on my own. But there's lots of stuff coming in, I might be distracted. Anyway, that's anti-aircraft fire. And I thought the bunker busting thing was interesting. All right. It's going to be a long week. I'm not sure how many videos I'll get out this week, but thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out my live Talking War Games thing that I did over the weekend. If you're on my YouTube channel, click the live tab up there for the videos, and you'll see all my live stuff. All right, thanks again.